So that's why I wanted to do like a also foundation of footwork technique, so telling you what this is really about and kind of chopping into small pieces what is the footwork technique. Okay, same as I said before, if you don't have a piece of wood at home and flamenco shoes, or you have neighbors that you obviously have to respect, don't worry, you can put some hard sole shoes like some trainers, or if you have jazz shoes that they have kind of a flexible part in the middle, that would be great as well. Otherwise some normal trainers. But my only recommendation is yeah, just please mute your microphones, Didi saying, so yeah. Just maybe there's I don't hear any feedback here, but it's just I'm sure it will be better if we can keep them on mute for now. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, about the trainers. So basically my only recommendation is don't do it bare feet. Okay, because you can really damage your feet. I know there's some people that they do bare feet flamenco, or in Indian dances they do it kind of a footwork bare feet, but I don't recommend it unless you've been trained on it, because you can really hurt your feet, and there's quite a lot of bones in the foot, and they are quite delicate in the joints and all the areas that can get swollen very easily if you stamp too hard and you don't have the protection of a shoe, either a flamenco shoe or a trainer. So yeah, after this recommendation, so I'm just going to start. I'm just thinking don't know if this view will help you. Let me just see, because you don't need to see my we're not gonna do any arm work, so maybe if I go a bit closer, because if I move the camera it's gonna be a total mess. No, I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe here? Good, yeah, I think you can see me from the back and from the front. Okay, great. So starting with also there's a useful video on my YouTube channel about flamenco footwork. So you can review, there's something that I went through too fast in this online meeting, so you can go through the video, and maybe there's some concepts that you can just be reminded of. And okay, someone tagged me in a post. Oh, I'm so curious now. Okay. And yeah, so I'm quite silly like that, so but I feel really weird like making jokes and laughing myself, but I hope you guys don't mind anyway. So yeah, so basically just a reminder of the position, the safe position for doing footwork, for stomping on the floor. Well, as you might know, but just in case if someone doesn't know, the flamenco shoes, they have nails here in the toes and in the heel. Okay, oh, I lost my balance. And then they have a rubbery part here, because they are made of wood, the sole. So they put for the sound, so they put the rubber, so it's not too slippery when you are dancing. This rubber eventually wears off, so you have to keep changing it. But it's a special kind of one. It's not the same one as you can use in other formal shoes, especially for male. Because I tried that and I tried to change it in places where they don't know about the flamenco shoes, and it was really messy. So it's a special kind of rubber. And also, yeah, the nails, they are in the toes and the heels to produce the sound. But it's different than tap shoes, because tap shoes is just kind of a plate, isn't it? Like a piece of metal all together. This is just tiny, hundreds of tiny nails. And the good shoes, the good flamenco shoes, they are handmade, and they're quite expensive. But it's just if you think about how important your feet are to take care of them, it's good that if you're thinking about buying a pair of flamenco shoes, that you buy the best you can afford, because it will make a difference for your feet. But yeah, after saying that, just a reminder of the position, or if you just joined in the class, that's from the beginning. So kind of a parallel position, okay, with your feet together, parallel but separated for about 1 finger in the middle, okay, in the back, and the front could be about 2 fingers, so it's a slightly V shape, okay, just tiny bit, not that much, just tiny bit. Good. And then you bend your knees slightly, okay, like that. Engage your core, not to the front, not to the back, just when your core is engaged, just go down. That's the perfect position. That's your guidance, your core, okay? And then we try to keep the position, our chest, our shoulders down, chest up. Normally I like keeping the posture here, or you can go to the waist, but here is a bit more difficult to avoid this when you get tired, when you're doing a lot of footwork. So it's easier to, so if you're here, it's kind of easier to lower your shoulders and remind yourself of the proper position, okay? And yeah, that's the natural position. And then how do we stomp on the floor? We stomp with our knees slightly bent, and then we take the energy from the back, and then we stop on the floor, okay? Back. I'm not gonna be too hard because I live in a house, but I also have neighbors on the side, so I hope they don't say, what is this crazy woman doing? So yeah, I'm just gonna not to get too carried away with the footwork, okay? So okay, so back and stomp, back and stomp, okay? So that's what we call the golpe, when we go with the whole foot on the floor, okay? I'll go back, so it's everything together, the whole foot, okay? Golpe. So you can just join me, okay? I'm just gonna do a series of golpes, okay? So right and left, right and left, and right and left, and right and left, and right and left, okay? So that's the golpe. What is something that is really important to keep in mind is that we don't bounce when we do footwork, okay? Meaning that I cannot see this, okay? To take energy. This is a very common mistake, it's normal to happen, but you really need to absorb the movement and the impact with your hips and your knees, so it doesn't transfer to the upper part of your body, so you don't go like that with the whole body, if that makes sense. Especially when you go faster or doing things that are more complicated, this is completely different, okay? So that's one of the things that makes flamenco a very special way of doing footwork, apart from setting it aside from what can be tap or another type of Irish dance, or things that they use the weight of the body in a different way. I always tell my students that I feel like I have 100 kilograms on top of my head and another 100 hanging here. Sorry about that, but that's kind of a, you know, a way of kind of a graphic way to feel like I'm heavy. Okay, I'm heavy. I'm really grounded. I'm attached to the, let's say, to the floor, but I'll go deeper to the ground. Really, it's like I'm rooted to the ground. Yeah, when I'm dancing flamenco, that's one of the things that make it more interesting, and that really you can feel that, you know, it's just kind of coming from your guts and kind of grounding and getting the roots from the floor. And yeah, sorry, I went just to but it's kind of the image, yeah. Heaviness, it's just heaviness on the top of your head, heaviness on the from here, so you don't bounce, yeah? And you give yourself weight, papa. And you can have an kind of a slight movement of your hips, just a tiny bit, just to absorb this bouncing. So instead of bouncing up and down, you bounce tiny bit from one side to the other, okay? To make it natural and not look like robotic, if that makes sense. Okay, I hope it's making sense so far. So today we are studying the golpes. Yeah, it's just a quick round so I can see your faces. Is making sense so far? Yeah, good. Okay, good, making sense, good. So we're gonna do a bit of golpes. I'm gonna be counting single golpe, and then it's gonna be double. Okay, and then we're gonna do the triple. Good, are you ready? So thinking about all this bouncing and the heaviness and the movement, engage your core. And 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. E1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Once again, E1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Now it's gonna be the double. We're just gonna do pa-pam with the same leg twice, okay? So with the right, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Once again, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Okay, good. So now we're gonna join both together. Good. We're gonna do 2 rounds of single, 2 eights of single, and 2 eights of double. Okay, are you ready? And 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. E1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Thinking about your posture. 7 and 8. Don't bounce. 1. Don't bounce. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and double. E1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Good. Hope so far so good. Just one last one to add to this combination. It's just gonna be 3. So we're gonna do pa 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 1 2 3, but we're gonna be changing. So twice with the right and then the left, and then we change twice with the left and then the right. Okay, pa pa pa. You ready? Slowly. 1 2 3. Now you repeat with the left. Left left right. Repeat with the right. Right right left. Repeat with the left. Pa pa pa. Okay, so right right left. Left left right. Right right left. Left left right. I'm advancing my foot, but just to see if it's clearer for you, but I'm not asking you to do this now, okay? So it stays in the same place. Right, right, left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 right. Good, once again. Right, right, left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 right, 7, 8. Good. Okay, so we have these 3 combination of 3. We're gonna do it all together. And this is, we are building what we call a tabla de pies in Spanish, which is kind of a footwork routine. That's not the translation literally, but is the only way to get better at footwork is practice, practice, practice. Yeah, like everything in life. But there's talent, obviously. There's natural talent to do things that you know, faster, or be able to do very complicated movements. But in general, it's about hours in the studio, just going for it. Yeah. So everybody can do it, is what I mean. There's nothing artistic about being really proficient with your footwork. Obviously then when you're dancing and you're doing the footwork with your whole body and things, it's just more, you know, becomes part of the art. But what is the bare naked truth is just the technique is not that difficult. to learn. It's about practicing and practicing and practicing to get better, get faster, and to be able to do more difficult combinations, and also about educating your ear and being able to do this thing that because obviously then the better you become, the more challenging sounds you want to make with your feet, and then that will all go with your compass, with your rhythm, with the one that you choose, and then you will do some crazy remates and things that they are absolutely mad and that you will love. But the foundation is here, tiny piece of wood, and just knowing the basics and going for it, and then as you get better and better and better, you can start getting wilder, and yeah, the sky's the limit. So let's do this combination again. And 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, E right, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and double, E 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Once again, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and ready for the triple. Baba 1, Baba 2, Baba 3, Baba 4, Baba 5, Baba 6, Baba 7, and again, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7. Once again, from the top, E1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, change, and double and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, and triple. Baba 1, Baba 2, Baba 3, Baba 4, Baba 5, Baba 6, Baba 7, Baba 8. Good, so that's the combination. There's a tabla, a small tabla de pies. Then you can start adding the rhythm. I will try to do that for other classes, but I wasn't too sure how it's gonna work with, I've got an app which is quite good. It's kind of a metronome, but for flamenco, which I can give you the details. I mean, there's quite a lot of them, but and I don't have any profit with anyone, so it's just something that I use just to, when I'm doing a tabla de pies in a different rhythm. So I say, today I'm doing it in 12 compass. So I take kind of an alegrías or soleares or bulerías rhythm. Another day I say like, okay, today I'll do it in tangos. And then so you kind of go educating your ear at the same time that you are doing your footwork, which is very important. Just one, we don't have much time to go in depth, but this is kind of a small example of a tabla de pies with golpes. Now we're gonna use just a tiny bit of tacón, okay? So golpe, tacón, tacón. It's the stomp, heel, heel, stomp, heel, heel. Okay, hope you can see me here. Okay, so stomping with the right, and then the heel of the left, and the heel of the right. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Good. Now we start with the left. So left, left, heel of the right, heel of the left. Right, pa, 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 pa. Right, left and right, left, right and left, right, left and right, left, right and left. Pa, pa, ta, ta, pa, ta, ta, ta. 12. Right, tacón, tacón, left, tacón, tacón, right, tacón, tacón, left, tacón, tacón. Good. If you feel like this, you already got it, and it's you can go for something else, just try to double it with the time. So you can do 8, pa, 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 2, tan, 3, tan, 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 5 and 6 and 7, and try to go for double. E, pa, 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 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, pa. Or if that's how you build, let's say, the tabla de pies. You just take one step, one combination, and then go for it, building it faster, so you can develop strength and speed, which they are the two parts that are the most important while doing footwork. Because sometimes you just go for the, you know, the accent, so you really go for the strength and to make really loud sounds, and other times you just go for speed, and you cannot be that loud. You are more tasty, I don't know how to say it. It's like these kind of sounds that they are like not that loud but very rich. So you kind of explore all this range of, you know, strength, cannot be super loud here, but, and speed. So, but what is important is to have the rhythm in mind. So you always go building the speed. Okay, so let's do it once again together, and I'll be kind of singing it. This is I'm using a 12 compass. Okay, so I'm thinking, if you are able to think about flamenco rhythm, I don't know what's your level, you can think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You see, I'm always, although I'm putting more and more layers in my footwork, I'm keeping the same rhythm. If you cannot count, it's absolutely fine. If you, it's like, oh, I don't know what this rhythm is, I cannot do the footwork, and then on top of that count on the rhythm, that's absolutely fine. I'm just showing you what is the aim to work, you know, the work frame that you can aim to when you feel more confident. And you will feel confident and you will improve really fast if you focus in the technique, and then the ability to listen to the rhythm and to do the footwork within that rhythm will come. Obviously, when you're in a class and we are all doing it together, it's much easier to join and to go with the flow than doing it at home. So what I want you to take today and to practice, and don't worry about the rhythm, don't worry about the timing, is just focus on the motion, on the movement, on how you do that golpes, okay? Pa, 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 the double, pa, 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 the triple, pa, 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 and then how you work on that golpe, tacón, tacón, okay? Pa, 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 taca, ta, pa, ta, golpe, tacón, tacón, golpe, tacón, tacón, golpe, tacón, tacón, golpe, tacón, tacón. Okay, good. So take that, study it. We will learn more and more combinations, and we'll make it more and more challenging as we go. But just I think we ran out of time again, and now we're gonna do another class with Castanet. So if you want to join in, you're more than welcome if you have the link. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the class. You want to say bye-bye or thank you? I hope you enjoyed it. Just as send me.
This was such a nice introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Send me some messages, feedbacks.